back to my channel.
Wow.
My hair was up here.
Okay, so today we are at Hollywood Studios, and so far, the sucks.
There's this black.
So the next park that we visited was Hollywood Studios, and this was on Saturday. So if you hear us complaining about wait times and other things, just keep that in mind.
Any theme park here in Florida on a Saturday is going to be
A bad idea.
just a bad idea.
Yeah. We had 3 days to visit Disney, and we forgot to mention one of the things that we did was we checked crowd calendars, and
Right.
we wanted to go to the park that was the least crowded on that day, but also the one that allow us to make reservations for that day, because that's something that Disney makes you do, is make reservations. We started our day not as early as we started for Animal Kingdom. We ended up sleeping in a little bit because Hollywood Studios is open till later.
Yeah.
They're open till like 10. And so we got there around noon, and we headed straight to Star Wars, the new land that they have there, the new section of Star Wars that they have. And we went straight to Rise of the Resistance.
Which I think is one of the newest rides in Hollywood Studios. And this ride was a blast.
So much fun.
The queue was pretty boring up until you get to the pre-show portion of the queue.
Yeah.
And once you get to the pre-show portion, super cool. You get into a transport vessel that is going to take you from Earth to the Resistance. And in the middle of your journey, the Empire, I believe that's the name of the bad guys. Sorry, we're not Star Wars
Yeah, we're not
fans.
Star Wars people, so that's probably another reason why we thought the queue was boring. We don't get the references.
Yeah, they had suits and blasters and things.
Yeah.
But we're not getting the references. So the tram, you walk in from the end of the queue line. You walk into the tram, and there's monitors on each side where it seems like you're going off into space and stuff like that. And then when the doors open again, the same doors that you walked in, now you're in a completely different area, and there's a row of stormtroopers that are facing you,
So cool.
ready to take you out
So cool.
if you get froggy. So don't leap.
Once again, we're not Star Wars fan, but I think anybody will be so excited.
Impressed.
Yeah, impressed to
Yeah.
see that kind of stuff.
So they took us off of our transport, and they said, line up here, and you're all gonna go into this room where you're gonna stay here until the big bad guy comes and interrogates you. And we're in the room, and we're kind of looking around and waiting, and we don't know what's gonna happen. And then on one of the walls, you see a red glow, like someone's using a plasma cutter
That was
to
really cool.
cut through the wall. And it's very hard to tell if you've never been there, like that there's this hole in the wall, and all of a sudden there's a hole in the wall, and like it opens, and then the Resistance is there to save you. They're like, come with us.
Yeah.
And this is where you finally enter the ride vehicles. And the ride vehicles were also super cool.
They
Something
were
we've
so
never
cool.
done.
Yeah, they look like bumper cars. Like there was no track to the car, but you only notice because there's so many other cars around you also going into the ride at the same time as you, and you see them and there's no track, and that was pretty cool to see.
It was cool. It was a super cool ride.
It was a lot going on. I did not get any other references, but I could tell that it was a really cool ride.
Yeah.
And for a long time, this was the first ride, by the way, I was like, this is my favorite ride. But yeah, it was. I would give it like a 9 out of 10.
Right, yeah. I would totally give it a 9 out of 10 as well. Long, very long wait time.
We waited 85 minutes for this ride.
85 minutes. And it was the first ride of the day.
So we left Rise of the Resistance and we went straight to eat, and we went to Docking Bay 7, food and cargo.
I had the Pirzanad hot chicken tip yip.
Yeah, and I had
Yeah, I'm not sure how to say that.
beef and crispy torpedo.
Both super delicious.
Amazing.
Super good. Mine was a chicken rice bowl with like corn and slaw and rice. It was good.
Yeah.
I loved everything about it.
Yeah, mine was pretty good. It had beef and it had roasted vegetables and
Crispy yuca.
the crispy yuca. That was amazing.
Crispy yuca. Yeah, that was really good.
I
enjoyed that.
had a bad experience with the Brussels sprouts, so
Oh right, yeah, the Brussels sprouts were very undercooked.
the Brussels sprouts were undercooked. I bit into the Brussels sprouts and I'm chewing away and I end up biting my tongue. I don't know if I thought that my tongue was the Brussels sprouts. It was very painful. I felt it for 3 days after that.
And then we went for our second ride of the day.
Tower of Terror.
Classic Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. And we waited again.
Like 70 minutes.
70 minutes in this
outside
hot sun with no shade for the most part. The ride itself was good. The Tower of Terror is a classic ride that is not going away anytime soon.
Hopefully.
We don't think, because it's so good, because you know, it's such a great ride. It's kind of a drop tower, but not really. It's kind of a drop ride, but it takes you up and then the doors open and you can see out across the park, and then it drops you. And then you go up again and you get serious airtime.
Oh yeah, my hair was like this.
So
I was definitely terrorized.
yeah.
I was really scared, and I think that's why this is my favorite ride, because it gave me the most thrill out of everything. I was holding on to Dennis like this. And my hair was up here.
And by this time, just from 2 rides, we had waited over 2 hours, so we were kind of over the park. We were kind of done.
It wasn't 2 hours. It was more than 2 hours.
More
it was
than
closer
2
to
hours.
4 o'clock by the time we got done.
Jeez.
Mind you, we had already been there since 12.
Yeah.
And we only done 2 rides at this point. At this point, I text my friend and I said, we've only done 2 rides and we hate it here.
I hate it here. I want to go home.
We're about to leave. We're finding some food and drinks, and then we're leaving. And she came to our rescue. She had already reserved her ticket for that day just in case she was able to go, but she was already on her way, and she saved the day for us.
Oh yeah, made a total difference to have someone there who knows what rides are worth it, where to go without us being lost and kind of looking at the map. She really kind of was able to guide us.
Yeah.
And then the next thing we did once she got there, we got drinks.
We got drinks, yeah. And then we ended up going to Beauty and the Beast show.
Yeah, and there's another stage show, another musical, outdoor musical, but you know, well done.
Yeah.
You know, super
Great
fun,
show.
great show. The actors were all good.
It was a pretty good show.
Yeah.
To tell you the story, it went straight to the point, because I think all these shows are like half an hour.
Mm-hmm.
But pretty good.
We then went to Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run, and this was another super cool queue. All the queues and the theming for these parks are really good. I really enjoyed the
And this
queues.
was probably one of the only ones that was indoor queue.
Yeah, for almost the entire queue was inside. And the ride itself is a cool, super cool idea. You go in and you are inside of a ship, and 6 people that are piloting the ship, not piloting, it's a 6-man crew, and
We got 2 pilots.
there's 2 pilots, 2 gunners, and 2 engineers.
Yeah.
We were the engineers.
We were the engineers.
But what they've done is they've taken a video game and put you inside of like a simulator, and then they've split up the controls that you would normally use in a video game, your controller. They've split it up among 6 people. So it's chaotic and fun.
It's so fun.
And our pilots sucked
They did.
really bad.
Yeah, we crashed a lot.
We did not win
No.
the mission. We did not pass the mission.
No, we did not.
But we had fun. It
Yeah,
was a
and
good ride.
that's what's important.
Yeah, that's
Like,
the most
how
important
boring would
thing.
it be if we would have passed the mission?
No, I would have I'm a gamer. We're winning. We're passing missions, and we're getting all of the gold coins.
Are you?
Yes. Not in War. Catch my stream, guys, on Twitch.
After the Millennium Falcon, we went to Star Tours.
Yes, another Star Wars ride. This is one of the older rides that's in the park. I think it's one of the first Star Wars rides.
So it's
that
not
they
in
had
the
there.
island with the rest of the other Star Wars
It's not
ride.
contained in the same area. It's
Yeah.
a little bit off the beaten path.
Yeah.
But it was another one of the Star Wars rides. And we went and did that. A lot closer to, you felt, it was a lot closer to Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, and it's funny because even before we got into the ride vehicle, I was already getting PTSD. I was like, this is giving Jimmy Fallon.
She used to work
Race to
at
New York
Universal
City.
Studios,
Yeah.
and that was her ride.
Yeah, that's where I
Jimmy
worked
Fallon's
at.
Race to New York. So you got serious vibes.
The way everything was set up, the glasses, the goggles, I knew, and I told my friend, I was like, this is giving Jimmy Fallon. She's like, no, not at all, and I believed her. But when we did the ride, I was like,
It's very much
Is there is
like the
a
same.
bunch of
thing.
people in one vehicle that doesn't go anywhere. There's no track. You're just moving with a large screen that gives you the illusion that you're going through space and
But
whatnot.
this one had animatronics.
Oh, I had one.
They had C-3PO. They had him guiding us through the tour. So it was a cool ride.
Yeah, it was cool,
Nothing amazing that
Yeah.
we've never done before, but still a really good ride that we enjoyed. What did we do after that?
So after that, we went to eat at Woody's Lunchbox, and let me tell you, their tachos are amazing.
Big portions.
Yes.
We're used to going to a theme park and paying a lot of money for something that's a very small portion.
Yeah.
And this was a big,
Yeah.
like, bucket.
And I think our mistake was not looking around to see what people were ordering, because if I would have seen someone with a big bowl of tachos, were tater tots with chili and chili cheese.
Sour cream?
Yeah, but it was
Yeah.
like chili cheese tater tots. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
But if I would have seen anyone walking around with that, I would have been like, no, we're sharing this.
Yeah, we
because
could have easily
we were not
shared
even that hungry. You just wanted a snack. And this ended up being a whole meal. And you ordered a whole meal as well.
Yeah, I got a brisket sandwich,
Yeah.
which was pretty good. Nothing special. I'm not a fan of pulled pork brisket because at that point it's pulled pork. It's not brisket.
Mm-hmm.
But it was still good.
After we ended up eating, we're getting so close to the end of the day.
It was around like 7:45, 8 o'clock.
Yeah, and we were like, we still had
one more ride that we wanted to do.
This was a ride that we wanted to do, because the other ones, there's a lot of rides that we missed out on.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of kids rides that I wouldn't have mind doing. There was one more ride that I wanted to do, and that was the Rock and Roller Coaster.
Yeah.
And we got in line for that one. It was at 70 minutes, and mind you, the park closes at 10. But we wanted to be able to be done with this ride by 8:45 the latest, because we wanted to make it to the Fantasmic show that started at 9.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
We wanted that to be the last thing that we did. Catch the show, go home.
Yeah.
And so we were praying that the roller coaster queue
Yeah.
would go fast enough, and we cut it pretty damn close.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it took so long that we ended up getting really bad seats for the Fantasmic show.
Yeah.
But the roller coaster itself, what did you think about it?
The roller coaster itself was amazing. I could do that one over and over again as well.
Yeah. I
liked
enjoyed
it.
it. I
Yeah.
thought it was a cool roller. It's a dark ride. It's an indoor dark ride, but super fun. You're
Yeah.
going fast. You're going through lights and stuff. Super fun ride.
I feel like I need to do that one again, because this ride, we all ended up going single riders. And I don't know why, but I just didn't feel like I could be myself. And I was like holding my screen. I was like,
Not me. I was yelling next to the old lady next to me. Just
no. Not me or the guy that was
enjoying my
sitting next to me, none of us were screaming. It was very awkward, very quiet. So I feel like if me and you do it together, we'll be screaming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
we'll be screaming.
other than that, it was really amazing. I like that one.
Yeah, I thought it was a good roller.
Other than the wait time.
I don't think it was worth the wait
No.
time that we waited. Once I was done, we headed over to the show,
Yeah, the Fantasmic show.
and we got bad seats, unfortunately. But the show itself is amazing.
Yeah.
And there was also boats that came in periodically and kind of went through in front of the crowd, and they had actors
Princesses.
dancing, princesses.
Yeah.
They had fireworks and flames and stuff. Super dope show.
Yeah.
Great way to end out the night.
Yeah. Overall,
it is.
it was a good time. We were there for the vibes, and it was good.
Yeah, good vibes.
Yeah.
And that concluded our second night.
Yeah. That was it for Hollywood Studios. And what did you rate this park?
I don't really have a specific rating for the park. The day got significantly better once Amanda joined
Yeah.
us.
Shout out to Amanda. You were our hero.
Thank you so much. But yeah, the day, if I had to give it a rating, I liked the rides. I thought they were
Yeah,
cool.
every ride that we did, with
I
the
liked
exception
the
of Star
food.
Tours.
I thought that was cool. What, 8 out of 10?
That's what I have as well. 8 out of 10.
7?
7.5.
You
8
could
out of
say
10.
7.5, 8. I think that's fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that concludes second day at Disney.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's it. Thanks for watching. Blues.